Okay, good evening, class. My name is Jerry Gutierrez, and I'll be talking to you today about Harry S. Truman, 33rd President of the United States. Who knows about the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima? Okay, at Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. Do you know why the bomb was dropped? It was dropped to end the war between the United States and Japan, and in order to save thousands of lives. But what about the thousands of lives that died during the dropping of the bomb? And what about the thousands of lives that also died during the aftermath of the bomb? Today I'd like to inform you about Harry S. Truman and his influence in history. Every year history teaches new students around the United States about Harry Truman's life, his courageous act to drop the atomic bomb, and to save the thousands of lives in our nation. What it might not show is that the dropping of the atomic bomb was unnecessary force and could have been prevented. Today I'd like to discuss Harry S. Truman's early life and presidency, Harry Truman's unjust decision to drop the atomic bomb, and influence he made in our history. Harry Truman was born in Lamar, Missouri on May 8, 1884. He was the oldest child of John Anderson Truman and Martha Ellen Young. Harry Truman at the age of 33 joined the army, and he became leader of his artillery unit. At age 38, he was elected to run for county judge. From that day on, his level of politics rose higher and higher. Harry Truman became U.S. Senate, and he was chosen to run for president against Franklin D. Roosevelt. He became vice president after losing office against President D. Roosevelt. But he became president shortly after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt. During Harry Truman's presidency, World War II had already begun, and he had to make some tough decisions. Now that we've discussed Truman's early life and presidency, let's talk about the unjust decision he took to drop the atomic bomb. According to Laura K. Agendorf, some historians argue that the bomb did not need to be dropped. The war was already coming to an end, and Japan would have soon surrendered. Japan was ready to surrender because the Soviet army had already begun to join the war, so it was going to be the United States and the Soviet army against Japan. So that would force Japan to surrender. According to Samuel Walker, the Soviet Union had already entered the war against Japan 6 days before Japan had unconditional surrender. The atomic bomb left no other choice for Japan. According to Agendorf, the bomb persuaded Japan to accept unconditional surrender. The two bombs that were dropped was one on Hiroshima, Japan, and the other one was dropped on Nagasaki. As William E. Perrington said, President Harry Truman dropped the bomb because he knew that the war was going to come to an end, and he wanted to show how powerful he was. As researcher Samuel Walker said, President Harry S. Truman decided to drop the bomb because he wanted to impress Japan and the Soviet Union. He wanted to impress Japan and the Soviet Union with the unbeatable forces of the atomic bomb. Now that we have discussed Harry Truman's unjust decision to drop the atomic bomb, let's talk about the influences made by Harry Truman. To many of us, Harry Truman may just be the 33rd President of the United States, but to many other people, I think that he has made a bigger impact because of the drop of the bomb. Maybe if he would have never ran for office, he might have never made that decision to drop the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and more lives could have been saved, and that could have been prevented. He's still a huge impact due to the fact that we learn about President Truman and his courageous act to drop the atomic bomb, in history classes, and a lot of students know about this every year. Now that we have discussed about his influence, we can come to a conclusion. In conclusion, today we have learned about Harry Truman's early life and presidency, his unjust decision to drop the atomic bomb, and his influences on our nation. President Harry Truman did save thousands of lives because of his courageous act to drop the bomb. However, I think that if he would have gone the other way with his decision, he would have saved more lives and the war still would have come to an end. Thank you.